This video is a response to Michigan Wilderness on a video concerning tomatoes and starting peppers to grow. I've had pretty good success with these peppers here. They're about a month. They're probably about a month old, and I thought I'd just show you exactly what I did do. And I got about 90% germination out of these plants, which I thought was real good. And so here's exactly what I did. I got my potting soil and I mixed it with some water, spring water or distilled water, just so I didn't have the chlorine in the water. And I mixed the dirt in and water until I got a texture about like this, where it kind of clumps together, but it breaks real easy, breaks up real easily. And I started it on my little pots with this right here, and I soaked my seed probably 6 hours. And I had probably 4 different types of pepper plants, and I started them in just with one at a time. I just put one individual seed after I'd soaked it, probably, like say, 6 hours. I made the little hole with the eraser, the depth of the eraser in there, dropped my seed in and just covered it up. I got on the internet and found the proper germinating temperature, ideal germinating temperature for those peppers. About all peppers was supposed to be 77, I think it was 77 degrees. I run 77 to 80 by this dampness of this dirt, and I put it in the little planter, and I covered it with this plastic. And then I heated it with this heat lamp, and I had it set up. In order to get my temperature right, I had to set it on a microphone stand is what I did, and raised it up probably 3.5, 4 feet maybe above my planter that had the plastic lid covering it. And I had to adjust it back and forth a little bit. Too close, it actually would melt the plastic. I laid one of these meat thermometers into the center and closed the lid on it, and come back like 15 minutes later, and I kept adjusting my heat lamp till I got it. It ran around 77 all the time. It was inside room temperature with the heat lamp going 77 to 80 degrees. And the germination was probably about 90%, and the germination time on them peppers was about twice the tomatoes, I think. It probably took 2 weeks for some of them to come out of the ground. So they were a little slower, and there was, like, say, maybe four different types, and it seemed like the bell peppers was a little bit longer. I don't know what else was critical on that. Okay, I didn't add any more water until all my plants was up out of the ground. And even after they came up out of the ground, out of the dirt, I left the lid on there until almost all of them were up, maybe an inch tall or so. And then I started taking the lid off. And I didn't need water up to that point, because that amount of moisture that was in this dirt kept a little moisture beads on the plastic through that whole period of time. And once they were up that high, probably 2 weeks, I repotted them and gave them, if some of them were drying out or seemed to dry out a little bit, I took a squirt bottle of water and just squirted a little bit around the plant. And then after about that 2-week time period, I repotted everything and gave them like a half strength of Miracle-Gro to get them going where they're going right now. I don't know if you're planning on using chemicals like that or not, but that was my method. It's worked real well. These plants, like I say, are about a month old. It's my little pepper plants. I got several other things going, tomato plants and this and that, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm not an expert. Mostly I follow the directions on the back of the package for the little planter I got, other than looking up the germination temperatures on the internet, and lighting. Once they were out of the ground, and I took the heat lamp off of them. Once majority of them were up out of the ground, I took the heat lamp off, and I used a shop light probably 2 inches above the plants, and left it on 12 hours at least every day, maybe 16. And that's brought me to this point. I'm pretty happy with what I've got out of it. I just wanted to share that with you, and thought I'd just show you the rundown, what's working for me. Thanks a lot.